For most of human history, global power was measured through land, armies, and gold. Monetary systems rose and collapsed alongside empires, rarely surviving their political decline. Yet in the modern era, one currency achieved something unprecedented: global dominance without formal empire. The US dollar did not rise naturally. It emerged from war, institutional collapse, and strategic design. To understand how the dollar became the world's reserve currency, we must examine how global power reorganized itself in the 20th century. Before the dollar, the pound sterling ruled global finance. Britain's empire controlled trade routes, capital flows, and gold-backed credibility. London served as the world's financial center. But this dominance was fragile. Two world wars drained British wealth, destroyed industry, and emptied gold reserves. Victory concealed exhaustion. By the 1940s, Britain could no longer sustain the financial system it once led. While Europe collapsed, the United States expanded. American factories supplied the global war effort. Capital flowed inward. Gold accumulated in American vaults. By 1945, the United States held most of the world's gold and possessed the only intact industrial economy. Economic gravity shifted decisively. Global stability now depended on American production and financial capacity. In 1944, this shift was formalized at Bretton Woods. 44 nations gathered to rebuild global finance. The system they created was hierarchical. The dollar was pegged to gold. Other currencies were pegged to the dollar. Stability was promised, but leadership was centralized. The dollar became the backbone of international trade and reserves. Under Bretton Woods, global commerce required dollars. Central banks accumulated dollar reserves. International contracts were denominated in dollars. The United States gained an extraordinary privilege. It could finance deficits by issuing the currency the world depended on. Monetary power became structural rather than political. By the 1960s, this system strained under its own success. U.S. spending surged due to war and domestic programs. Dollars flooded global markets. Confidence in gold convertibility eroded. In 1971, the dollar was detached from gold. Bretton Woods ended. Conventional logic predicted collapse. It never came. Instead, the dollar adapted. Oil, the world's most critical commodity, was priced in dollars. Energy-dependent nations required dollars to function. Demand became structural. Financial markets deepened. U.S. Treasury bonds emerged as the world's safest asset. Dollar dominance no longer relied on gold, but on infrastructure and trust. Wall Street became the center of global liquidity. Dollar-denominated debt, euro-dollar markets, and deep capital markets locked the world into the dollar system. Replacing the dollar would require rebuilding global finance from scratch, an impossible task. Reserve currency status granted immense power. Sanctions, capital flows, and inflation could be exported, but it also imposed responsibility. Global stability became tied to American monetary policy. Every interest rate decision echoed worldwide. Alternatives are discussed: the euro, the yuan, digital currencies. Yet none match the dollar's liquidity, scale, and institutional depth. Reserve currencies fall only when viable replacements exist. The dollar dominates not because it is flawless, but because history left no alternative. The US dollar became the world's reserve currency not through conquest, but through collapse, design, and dependency. Once a currency becomes the foundation of global finance, replacing it becomes far harder than creating it. History rarely offers second chances, and global money is no exception.